Okay, we're gonna start this sock. I'm gonna leave my waste yarn, cut it, add my working yarn, and because I knit with Lycra, my Lycra. I'm gonna tie a square knot because they're easy to undo. Move this back a little bit so I have access to my needles. I'm gonna slip my crochet hook up here. Just run it alongside the cylinder to get to where I want it to be, which is somewhere around the red mark or the half mark. Hook it, pull it tight, pull it down through. And like I said, square knots are easy to cut undone. So on occasion this happens and you just do it again. There we go. So I'll reach here and grab this. You can also put a clothespin on it if you want. Now we're going to bring this around, thread our yarn carrier, and slowly crank around. And you probably can't quite see this because the yarn carrier is in the way. Making sure that the yarn is underneath all the latches, or inside of them, however you want to put it. This latch is totally closed, so I'm going to open it up. There we go. And slowly go around, making sure each one catches. You can see they've all got a stitch. Okay, when I get back to here again, I'm going to take my ribber out of work, and it moved just fine. If it acts funny, like it doesn't want to go forward a little bit and then do it. Now I'm going to go 1, 2 rows, get back over here, put it in work, and then I do 15 rows. This is 14, and I'm going to stop with my spring holder right here because I'm going to change to 3x1 ribbing. Get my string holder pulled out, get some needles. Now with mine, the way I have it set, the first one I do for 3x1 is the one right after my mark, but the way your machine is set up, you want to start with this one. And we just move ourselves around as we do our needles. And like I said before, practice, practice. You'll get faster and faster as you do this more. Just make sure that, see how this needle's a little bit higher? I just leave them up a little bit. That keeps the latch from shutting and dropping a stitch as you go around. Just keep an eye as you're going around that you didn't have a latch come back and you're going to drop one, because that will be probably one of your big things that's going to happen to you at first, is a latch will open up and you'll drop one when you're changing to the 3x1. Like like I said, I just push the butt out so I can grab it with the other needle, and you hear the pop when it goes over. There you go. Put your spring back, and I'm gonna go ahead and do 70. Take my heel hook off from the last sock I made. Hang on to that a little bit underneath so that that toe doesn't give me trouble, and I'm gonna do 75 rows. This will be one. Remember to move your weight up as you're going. Or this will be 75 when I hit here, and I'm going to stop this time because I'm going to take the needles out for my heel. The ribber needles out. So, if you look back to where your needle is marked for the one that you pick up, on this side, you just leave the ribber needle that's closest to that in and start going. Sometimes it feels like all you're doing in making a sock is taking needles out and putting them back in again. And dropping them on the floor. Which is why a rolly stool is the best thing in the world to own. Here's my half, and here's my other purple needle, and there's a rubber needle there, so I'm fine. Now I'm going to do 15 pre-heel. That is totally up to you how many you want to do. I'm going to stop center front for the heel. I'm going to pick up my target needles, which you can count back 6, or I know it's 1 to this side of the rubber needle and 1 to that side, and yours will be the opposite. Take my ribber out of work, slide it around. You'll change yours around. I just take mine out because it's a little different. Engage my heel spring. Now I'm ready to do my heel. Like I said, always check that first needle. Everything works for the first needle, then you're fine. If you miss the first needle, you're probably going to drop all the needles afterwards. When you're very comfortable with your machine, usually you should have no problem. There's always that sticky yarn or something happens. Your scissors were left too close, so they caught them on your scissors. All kinds of things happen. So I'm heading to my target. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of purple still left on. That's my target needle for my heel. And on this sock, I'm going to go to, okay, I'm at that, so I'm going to lift up 2, go over, lift up 2. The only time I do them at the same time, and I'll put these 2 down. Once again, see how there's a little bit of difference in height? Don't put them quite down all the way because you want that to go. Then I'll put these 2 down, and this is when I put my heel hook in. And I try and put it right at these 2 places where I just started. Now I'm going to go back, and it's one at a time, and it's on the opposite side. And if you don't remember, you can tell because your latch is on the outside of the stitch. See all these other ones, it's on the inside, this one's on the outside. Okay, this is my double wrapped of the 2 I picked up when I started. I'm going to put only one of them down, come back around, and I should have 2 over here. I'm going to put 1 down. I'm going to come back around. I'm going to stop center front. The stitch is wrapped, so there'll be no holes at the top of my heel. I'm going to slide this back around, put my ribber in work, change my ribber drive pin, make sure it's in there, take my heel spring off, put my needles down, and I like to put my finger like this and put them down because that kind of keeps your latches open and they don't have to go quite all the way down. Now, the first time around when I have the ribber needles in, I hold down on the ribber side and watch to make sure everything is coming around fine, and then I'll come back here and push in on the heel. That's 1. I'm going to do 80 rows for this foot. That was 30. At 30, I usually take my heel hook off, pull my weights up, hang on to that heel a little bit with my hand. And I got 72, and I need to find some more of this yarn. And I'm just gonna do a Russian join. 2. Once again, I'm going to stop in the back so I can remove all my ribber needles, because now I'm going to make the toe. So we'll remove all these guys. My spring back. My rubber's a little sticky, so I'm gonna use that. Take this off. And then I like to do 5 rounds of stockinette before I do my toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I do my toe on this side. So I count back 1, 2, raise this needle, 1, 2, raise this needle. Drop the crochet hook. Pick all these up. Gauge my heel spring. Okay, and we're ready to do a toe. And pick up 2 every time. When I start a heel or a toe, I always pick up 2 on the first 2 rounds. Hanging on with my hand on the bottom and pulling it towards me. Watch for the stitches to be riding up. They come back down, we're fine. Riding up a little bit. Now you can put your heel hook in, or because it's like this and it's very easy, I use my hand. But be careful when you're doing that, you don't lower one of these, because your machine will catch it and then you will have a big loop of yarn. So we're heading for my target needles again. And that's my target needle. Okay, I've hit my target needle. Now I'm going to pick up 2 on this side, 2 on this side, 2 down on this side, and make sure you don't shut your latches. I'm going to go back around, 2 down. My fingers are still doing a wonderful job, but I'm going to put my heel hook in. And probably see about where it is. Don't want it too high because it puts too much pull and it's hard on your stitches. Okay, I've already put this one down. My latch is out. Here we go. And we are playing yarn chicken because this yarn does not have enough to make this size of a sock. So I'm using leftovers from other ones, so we may have to do another rush and join. And because we're doing the wrap this way, it's always a little bit harder on that side when you go down. And we get to do another rush and join, aren't we lucky? Like to have it broken so you have the fuzzy stuff there, because it helps it seep itself in better. And if you just do this, it helps. Now we're going to finish, and we look over here and we see we don't have a latch on the outside, so we haven't put this one down. So here we go. And we're waiting to get to that double wrap. And remember, we started and stopped on this side, not the other side. Okay, this is our last needle down. We still have a double wrap. We're going to come around here like this. Over here is a double wrap. We're just going to do half of it. I'm just putting one down for right now, but I'm going to stop center front because basically I am done. This will not give you the dog ears on your sides. You still have the double wrap here. Make sure all your latches are open. We're going to go around here, stop right there. There's my halfway mark. That's where I'm going to stop. I'm going to take my yarn out, and this is where I get rid of, if you're using Lycra, I get rid of the Lycra. I don't Kitchener with it. Get my Lycra out of the yarn. It likes to stick to everything and anything it can. Fingers, hands, whatever. This gives you plenty of room if you break it right here. Putting this inside. Getting my waste yarn, which is kind of a bad idea because it's the same kind, but it is a totally different yarn, so I'm not going to worry about it at this point. I don't have anything else here right now. Thread this. Now, this needs to go in the middle of that double wrapped. This is going to go on the other side. We don't need that there. So go around slowly and watch. That doesn't help. Okay, they all did, so you should be good. I do 5 or 6 rounds. Then I put my ribber on and start all over again on my next sock. See? Clunk, clunk. There we go.